Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI. Last time we made a new party member and saved another potential party member who didn't join me, even though Shadow ran away and would have ran away with my gear if I didn't strip him of it. But there was this place for little Relm and she didn't join the party. Kind of weird that, considering we got a character introduction screen for her and everything. Anyway, now that we're moving on to the next area, the only enemies in there that have any type of elemental affinity are weak to fire. You can keep yourself with fire rods if you want. You don't really need it, but I'm going to leave them with them because I don't really have all that much better. Thief Glove, Atlas Armlet, pretty much your best setup for Locke for a little while. If you're not doing this, he's a thief, so there's that, I guess. And I might as well leave the sprint shoes on Terra. She does plenty of damage as is. Locke in the front row. You could put Strago in the front row if you wanted to. That's entirely up to you. We'll see how he handles there. Can't believe we're actually using normal attacks in Final Fantasy VI. Alright, let's go and grab a chest. A heal rod. Okay, let's find some new enemies. Slurm! Apparently this is, Futurama. Lovely. Slurm are, well, dead. Slurm? Let's see, what does Slurm got? They are susceptible to instant death, which is nice. They are weak to fire. They use seizure, and they use some earth elemental attacks. So you want to make sure you equip your Gaia gears coming in here. I should give her the, not the Blizzard Sword, but the, Flame Saber. I just stole a second one. I could give her a second Genji Glove if I really wanted to. But yeah, like, it just does fantastic damage to have rods at this point in the game. You know what? I think I'm sold. I think I'm glad I bought the extra, Fire and Ice rods. There was more use than I remembered there being for them. So let's check Equiption real quick. Everyone has Gaia gear. This is good. I don't think I have enough. Yeah, let's just move Terra into the front row too, and we'll have her normal attack. This entrance down here on the left, that loops around to the one up here, so there's no real purpose. Hey, wait a minute. I saw that. We've done the whole someone running around us on the mountain thing before. Not surprising that they do it again. There's a chest up there that we... Hey, wait a minute. I think Relm's following me. New enemy, Adam Man something or other. Wow, that did no damage. I'm surprised that... Ow. Yeah, that's the problem with being in the front row. Your physical attacks suck. The enemies, pretty much on par with their magical attack. This guy, I don't think is weak to fire. You can steal a gold shield from him. Oh, right, he has auto-safe, so you don't want to use physical attacks on this guy. All the enemies around here, by the way, the normal enemies are level 23 and level 24, so if your Strago is either of those levels, you'll probably want to, actually, sure, let's show it off. You'll probably want to make use of stone here. Here we have a non-elemental attack. I don't use a lot of the espers in this game. Mainly because my normal attacks tend to do more damage. But not in this particular case. Alright, let's check my levels here and heal up. Because, ow. There we go. How are my levels doing? Good enough for a couple more battles. Get back here! I saw you! How the hell did she get there anyway? Weird. Alright, just setting a couple things up here. Let's go on down here. Let's take a look at these things. I can't believe it! The statues. Here again, we get to talk about the statues, or the Warring Triad, or the Gods of Battle, depending on which translation you want to follow. Some fate letters are carved on the back of the stone figures. What else can you tell us about these goddesses? Didn't you just call them statues? And aren't you not supposed to talk about gods or goddesses in, Final Fantasy games at this point in time because Nintendo wanted to censor the crap out of everything? Yeah, they just kind of forgot about what you can't say. It's like we can't say anything about gods of battle, so we're going to call them, something that has nothing to do with gods or goddesses. And now that they're goddesses. What? Oi! Relm? I can still see you, They quite literally created magic as we know it. The gods who created the power known as magic. I can feel their power. Statues are the source of all magic. They also created the Espers. It says the Espers once enshrined images of gods into a holy place. This must be it. These represent power beyond all comprehension. Our Espers no doubt came to this island to bask in all of this magical power. Yeah, you could say that. I like the Game Boy Advance translation here, where they must have been drawn here. Saying that they came here to bask in power just gives a connotation that I don't think was intended. Anyway, what happened to the stone goddesses? Why do you keep changing what you're referring to these as? What happened to the gods after they made the Espers? Supposedly they tired of their fighting and turned themselves to stone. Legend has it they can be found beyond the Seal Gate, resting in their eternal slumber. Beyond the reach of all humans, yeah. Translations seem to differ depending on various things. I think the Game Boy Advance translation makes a lot more sense. Wonder if the barrier that protects that place is generated by the stone statues, or the stone goddesses. If the Espers were attracted here by these statues, they must be around here somewhere. They could be up ahead. Well, I guess we know where we're gonna go. Follow the path. Before moving on, the birth of magic. 3 goddesses were banished here. In time, they began quarreling, which led to all-out war. Those unlucky humans who got in the way were transformed into Espers and used as living war machines. 3 gods descended from heavens. Fearing one another's power, the gods began to war. Those mortals caught amongst their fighting became Espers and were forced to fight endlessly as slaves to the gods. The Espers created these statues as a symbol of their vow to let the goddesses sleep in peace. The Espers have sworn to keep the goddesses' power from being abused. In reverence toward the gods that In reverence toward the gods were these statues made, and in prayer that their powers would ne'er again be stirred. Now, the Game Boy Advance translation does use a little more fancy, old-fashioned dialect here, and that's because in the original translation, the script here in Japanese uses a very ancient kind of dialect of Japanese, so they decided to continue that trend in the Game Boy Advance translation. Let them serve as a warning to future generations of these gods who once descended from the heavens. The goddesses finally realized that they were being laughed at by those who had banished them here. In a rare moment of mutual clarity, they agreed to seal themselves away from the world. With their last ounces of energy, they gave the Espers back their own free will, and then transformed themselves into stone. Their only request was the Espers to keep them sealed away for all eternity. Again, the Game Boy Advance translation, realizing their power begot not, but strife. The gods at last agreed to seal away their strength. With the last of their fading magic, the gods returned the Espers' free will, and then turned themselves to stone. The last words they left the Espers were, "Never must we be woken." So you get kind of an idea of what happened here. It makes quite a bit more sense, I think, in the Game Boy Advance translation, but anyway. Hey, we had a serious, intelligent moment. So of course Ultros shows up to ruin it. These shiny statues are all mine. These will get Siegfried's attention. Yes, this guy seems to know the almighty Siegfried, also known as Siegfried, because translations are hard. The shiny golden statues are mine. Now, he's saying that he wants some respect from Siegfried. Now, can I pull it up? Don't know. I can't remember where it is. Anyway, the idea here is that Ultros kind of looks up to Siegfried, and he refers to him as kind of like a friend or a master, or I can't remember. It was one of the two. Basically, it's someone he looks up to, and he's trying to get his attention through, obtaining these shiny statues. Which is interesting. So purty. Hey, Squidball, don't you ever learn? Well, they say I was a slow learner, but I eat fast. That's a great line. I also like the Game Boy Advance. Well, Mama said I was a slow learner, but at least I never give up. Okay. I'm going to do a few things here, and again, we're going to do this fight a few times. Guess who's level 25? Guess who's also level 25? Ultros also has Auto Float. Hawkeyes do increased damage against... What the hell was your secondary weapon? Anyway. He casts the things. Do I have Dispel yet? I don't think I do. No, Dispel's one of the things I don't have yet. But, yeah. We can absolutely abuse the ever-loving crap out of this guy. He has, I don't know. Why did it miss? Anyway. But yeah, he has Reflect on now, so if I'm going to target him, I'm going to have to Reflect myself. And then bounce spells back onto him. Let's try that again. I'm going to show this fight a few different times. Relm? Told you to stay home. So, you needed to do some practice, did you? You do realize that's a giant octopus, right? How dare you! I am Ultros! Now, I was reading up on this. Relm and Ultros, what are you doing? This doesn't mean a whole lot. Basically, what he's doing is he's breaking the fourth wall. He's looking directly at the player behind the menu here. What's going on, and I talked about this before, where Relm speaks about herself in a third person. Well, this does two things. One, it's not done here, so it doesn't show up, and it makes the scene a lot more confusing, but basically what it does is it makes her seem both childlike and self-important. The Game Boy Advance calls her a virtuoso, and a maniacal, self-centered octopus or something like that. But basically, Ultros also does this. He speaks about himself in the third person, but he does it in like a Saturday morning cartoon villain sort of way. He basically He uses the word for I. In his particular case, he uses ore in Japanese, which is a more masculine form of the word or the word I. He also attaches sama to the end of this, which is an honorific to someone that you look up to. So he's basically saying myself sama, or myself the great important. A lot of times this gets translated as someone being very full of themselves, especially a villain. I am the legendary blah, blah, blah. I'm going to complete, the legendary whoever. Pick whatever character you want. But basically, they're both speaking about themselves in the third person here. And in English, this makes it's still funny, but it doesn't make anywhere near as much sense as it does in Japanese if you understand the implications of what they're saying and how they're saying it. Listen, Alti. Now, here's a really cool line. I was looking this one up. She calls him Alti, and what the Japanese shows is it's Ultros, or it's Orthos, because in Japanese his name is Orthos, but it's she shortens it down to Oru and then adds chan, which is the suffix for usually smaller characters, like young characters, specifically female characters, more often than not. So basically, translating that as Alti is probably about as good as a translation you could do there as possible. Anyway, why don't you pose for me? I'm not one of your kitty friends. Don't talk to me as if I were. I don't want a portrait. I don't want a drawing. I'll just... Whoa! No, you can't do that, no. Whisper, what? Oh, wait, something's going on here. How dare you bother little... Uh-oh. A plan has been hatched. I'm not going to forgive you if you hurt her. What do you want I should do? Very awkward phrasing, but sure. It's Ultros. Ask her to draw your portrait. Are we seriously having a conversation with an octopus about being mean to a little girl who just threatened to jump into presumably a very long way down? She might actually make you look pleasant. Don't be so heartless. Oh, all right. Uncle Alti really wants you to do his portrait. Woolsey, thank you for making this scene so goddamn epic. You're gonna love it. At any rate, come here. At this point, there we go. Throw some more things at him. We have Relm, and she has the ability to sketch. Now, the battle ends when you do this. Tentacle. Well, that's not a lot of damage at all. I'm nothing more than a stupid octopus. And that's the battle. Yep, that's the battle. Okay, let's show off a different way of taking poor Ultros down. And that would be, you don't have it, Terra. I will finally show off something that, well, I could have shown off before. But this is a trick known as Vanish Doom. And as I said before, well, Ultros is immune to instant death. But when you apply the Vanish status, for some reason, it bypasses status immunity when you try and cast something. So if you cast Vanish on something, and it can be inflicted with Vanish, and then cast Doom on it, the game forgets that it was immune to anything. And because the thing was supposed to play out a certain way, there's Relm. And finally, I've got one more thing to show off here. And I specifically went and gained a level so that I would learn it. We can steal a white cape from this guy. We have access to... Where is it? The Berserk spell. Well, I'm going to Berserk you. And then I'm gonna Berserk block, because the Hawkeyes do additional damage when the enemy is floating, and Berserk increases the amount of damage you do, plus you have the chance of casting a fire spell like so. And we're gonna Berserk you, and this fight's over. I don't have to do anything anymore. Now, after Relm joins up, you can, you don't have to use Sketch with her, but that's what triggers the, advancing the dialogue there. I should have cast Reflect on him, I didn't have time, but that's fine. But yeah, we still do boatloads of damage, so it's fine. I think that'll probably wear off after this cutscene, which I'm just going to skim through as I talk about another glitch. The Sketch glitch is a glitch in this game involving Relm's secondary ability, which is the Sketch command. It sketches the enemy and uses one of their innate abilities to deal damage or to heal or whatever it wants to do. It's a pretty cool feature. However, the original North American version of the ROM, version 1.0, and that's not just like a ROM file, that's the original version of the cartridge, which is where they've obtained the ROM files from. That original version had a glitch. Sketch would break the ever-loving crap out of this game. It would do things like corrupt your save file, completely change your inventory around. It would lock out the game, like soft lock out the game where you'd have to reset. It could delete files. It did so many things, including graphical glitches and everything. When they re-released the game as version 1.1, they fixed it. So if you're playing on version 1.1, then you're fine. In my test run, I found out I'm playing on version 1.0. So I'm going to show you how that works. Oh, my Berserk didn't go away. You can kill him by HP here as well if you want to. You don't have too much to worry about from Ultros, except for he does have the stone ability, and that will do additional damage. Now, even though we took him out this way, guess who's going to take credit for it? Relm still takes credit for it. Wasn't that great? I'd be way more useful than Gramps. Suppose it wouldn't hurt to have you along. At least that way we can protect you. Alright, already, if you insist. That's better. And with that, we got a new party member, Relm, the only other rod user in the game. She also can equip brushes, which always suck. The heal rod does exactly what you think it does. It heals the target when you attack with it. That in of itself is decent because of its huge battle power. It can heal, from what I've heard, about 1,000 damage or 1,000 HP, fully heal you. But I don't tend to use it because it's not necessary most of the time, and I usually want to multi-target healing spells anyway. So I'm not going to bother single targeting with an attack. But I would still, and I'm going to talk about this again, but I highly recommend not selling anything. This is why I still have beginning of the game stuff. Just sell nothing if you can avoid it. If you have to sell things, Mithril and before, sure, sell that. But don't sell anything else. A lot of this stuff we're going to have to make use of later. Anyway, let's optimum you and give you a Thunder Rod. Mystery Veil is finally something better than the Green Beret, and only for the ladies. I should have given it to Terra already, and don't know why I didn't. A little bit of speed, some more magic power, magic block, very important there. It's very, very good. In fact, let's give one to you. Yeah, it's just so much better because of the magic block as opposed to the physical evade, because magic block is the physical evade in this game because it's bugged. So anyway, yeah, that you want that on all the ladies. I was supposed to give you a Flame Saber a long time ago. I forgot. We're going to switch up your gear again and give you Thief Glove and give you back your Atma weapon. And over here, she comes with a memento ring by default. So only Relm and Shadow can use that? Well, that's kind of weird. It's not like they have anything in common. But yeah, if you go here, only those two can do it. Departed Mom's love protects against fatal magic attacks. So I guess we stole one from her house. That would explain why Relm has it. It's a memento of her mother, protects against instant death. That's great. But why can Shadow use it? Weird. In other translations, here it just shows memento ring. I think it was specifically the PlayStation version. They changed this to safety ring. And then when it showed up in the text of you getting it, it said safety ring spelt properly. And then when you'd look at it in the menu, it would be Safety without the E. Safety ring instead. And they screwed up the spelling of it. It's kind of weird that way. But anyway, let's put you into the... Actually, you know what? I'm going to put you in the front because you can't do anything else, can you? Actually, you know what? I'm going to give you a Genji Glove. I don't have another... Yeah, I'm going to give you an Atlas Arm. I'm going to give Relm an Atlas Armlet. This video game makes no sense. Alright, we're going to give you Thunder Rods, because why not? Mystery Veil, Gaia Gear. Yeah. Look at that. I have a party of mages, and my mages are in the front row. Alright, well that was fun. Now, here's a save point and a battle. Alright, down here we have 3 pits. In order to proceed, you want to go to the bottom left one, but if you want to get all the treasure in here, we gotta think about activating the, the Turtle Rock pattern from Link to the Past. Start with the right, and work your way counterclockwise. Alright. Get on up here, pop our way out here, find an X potion. And there are some additional enemies out here. One of them is the Abolisher. Excuse me, my voice decided to die. One of them is the Abolisher. The Abolisher is very important because I believe it's on its 3rd turn. It will activate a special ability that Strago can learn, and you can only find these guys on the hillside. So hopefully they will do it. Now the thing is, they only do this when more than one of them is alive. Whirlwind. Whirlwind is a very nice ability. It heals all allies with the same amount of HP as your current HP. So we can finish these guys off pretty quickly afterward. Yeah, nice Fire 2 spell there. Random chance on the weapon there. And we learned Whirlwind. Whirlwind is one of the better ones that we'll be using throughout the entire game. Alright, let's take a quick look at some of your lores here, your blue magic. Whirlwind does cost a lot of MP. It will be a lot more useful later on than it will be right now. Now Cure 2 is probably better use. But, oh yeah, Exploder, forfeit life to inflict mortal damage, just like when we saw it being used. You should never use this one, but I'm going to show how to get them all anyway. I should probably heal. Like I said, with Cure 2. There we go. Good enough. Alright, and from here, we can take a little jump off here, and now I'm going to basically run around in a circle, get back up there, and show you the next one. Alright, we're back. So the next one we want to fall into is up here, and there's 2 paths this time around. So let's go collect 2 more treasures, and that's it for the treasure in this area. Damn it. Here we get a Chocobo suit. We're going to get a number of weird items here. Well, you'll see the other one in a second. And you're going to want to keep all of them for later. There's a lot of items we're going to want to keep for later. The Tabby suit as well. Now, these are pieces of armor for these 2, but they're still not really as good as the Gaia Gear, and they don't have Earth Elemental protection. I'm not a big fan of either of them, even though they do raise a lot of stats. They're just not as good as the Gaia gear right now for survivability. And anytime you run into someone that's going to use Earth, like the Slurm enemies, they have the ability to, I think, use Magnitude 8 or maybe even Quake. So just be very careful around them. They die pretty fast, so it's not like you should see it, but if you do, Gaia gear is going to save your balls. But yeah, make sure you hang on to these two for later, as well as that heal rod. We are going to want them. There are 2 new enemies only available out here, though, and I do want to show them off, so let's find them real quick. Well, here's one of them, Mandrake, probably one of the more dangerous of the group that's out here right now. Let's do some basic attacks while I check my notes. I stole the potion. They're weak to fire, they absorb water, they use petrification. Ow, and they apparently use drain too. So yeah, kind of scary to deal with, but like I said, weak to fire, should be able to finish them off pretty quickly with some fire-based attacks. They do seem to counter with that absorption thing, which kind of sucks, but yeah, I need to heal. And there's one more enemy. And right on cue, here he is, the flying something or others. They look pretty cool. They are susceptible to instant death. Same with the Abolishers and the Slurm if you want to use them, since we now have access to the Doom spell. They absorb water, so we don't want to do that. But yeah, other than that, they're weak to fire and wind. They do use Berserk, which could be difficult, except for most of my characters are using physically based attacks right now, so it's not a huge issue. Anyway, we drop off here, and again, I will meet you upstairs. All right, we're back, and we just hit that save point, so all there is to do is fall down here. And from here, you can either go backward through the obvious means, or you can go on up here, leading to the last little area, and one final battle before the end. That's all the time I got for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.